Figured after I have been working on my Crawlagon course the third time over that I should probably do another update. Since building the first two Crawlagon courses, I have since gotten a Snapmaker U1. It is a 4-tool head, multicolor, multi-material printer with zero waste. One of the things I was thinking I could do with it is make some wonderful crawling tiles in 4 colors so I don't have to paint them. And because it is also a multi-material printer, one of the things I wanted to do with this course is occasionally have it outside. Unfortunately, a lot of the nicer looking filaments are all PLA. They don't hold up too well outside. However, PETG does hold up well outside. The only caveat is, technically, PETG and PLA do not bond very well. So as part of my durability test with the multi-materials, the PETG versus the high-temp PLA, I had this little test rig done up. Well, I got everything Velcroed to the carpet. I took this whole board and I stuffed it in my car in the front in the sun and left it there all day on the sunny day. And it came out great. The high-temp PLA was slightly warped, but the PETG came out perfect. So with those results, I'm going to go ahead and start using the PETG as the core. It is obviously bonding well enough to the PLA, probably because the PLA is wrapped around it. And then we're going to go forward with this. So this is the OVERTURE Alpine Forest Gradient. This is the Aniline Rainbow Rock Gradient. This is another one. I've got an Aniline Fossil Rock up in the front. It's just enabled me to do a lot more to make these things look amazing. For example, with the Rock Rainbow, it looks like a volcano. The rocks, the style of it, the coloring, all I had to do was get into the slicer and add the extra highlights as red, yellow, and orange. I have the gradient film as my external. I decided to take a red PETG as my core, and so I could make it poke through in some places. As well as the yellow is just a standard PLA, and then the orange I decided to go with a red gold silk to give a little bit more flair to it, and that really helps it pop. For example, this was one of the terrain sets. I made sure before I did it to add rocks to it to give it a little bit of accent, and then in the slicer I was painting all of the little dirt runoff lines. And so when it came out with the gradient filament on it, it really gave it a lot of nice character. I was extremely happy with how it came out. Though it was a learning process, it was my first one that I was doing. I was figuring out how much filament I needed to use in order to get the gradient to progress at a visually pleasing level. So when doing the volcano, for instance, one of the things that I learned was that when the PLA was trying to build something just on top of the internal supports or in a low spot where it didn't have anything to build off of beside it or underneath, especially more PLA, I was tending to get some holes showing up as the first couple of layers weren't necessarily sticking. And then when that third or fourth layer would come around, it would knock those first 2 layers out, and then it would start generating holes. So what I did was I was modifying this to give it a little bit more base structure underneath it before trying to build some of the flatter areas. So as you can see on some of these other terrain sets, I've added a lot more highlight colors to it. So in most of my sets, I'm printing with at least 3 colors, most cases 4. And that's giving it a lot more depth to it, and it's been a lot of fun to get these printed out and then see how amazing they look. As time progressed, I even went so far as to build my own entire terrain piece, a 7-piece terrain set, because my brother said, hey, I'd like a rock mount. So I was like, I think I have something in mind. And I put this huge rock mount together. And when I did that, that took about a whole weekend to get it designed and then get it all cut apart into each piece and get it ready to print it. When I did that, I had a whole nother level of appreciation for the guy that's doing Crawlagon just because of how much of a pain it was to cut those out into their individual pieces to get them ready for printing. So in the process of making these new tiles and learning new processes, I happened to come across probably what was my favorite tile for a hot minute. It just looked amazing. I saw this little pond that I had made, and I thought that would be a great little surface tile, and it looks spectacular. One of the main reasons I wanted to make this pond was when I saw how well the silk filament did at being water. It's just a green-blue silk filament, and it was awesome on my mountain. So when I came across the pond, I had to do it. And while I was looking at it, I just wasn't quite satisfied 100%. I felt like maybe the pond should have been a little bit bigger. These edges were a little bit too tapered, and I thought, you know, I can do better. So as it turns out, I could do better. I did a lot better. I think part of it helped that the green from the alpine forest had actually started coming back around in that banding on the filament, so that really helped. I made the pond much bigger. I made the rocks look a little bit better, and it's turned out to be quite a decent piece. So now I have my extra pond, which I can now use as a filler piece, and just set that right down in there. And then now my nicer pond gets to set down at the end of the bridge. Just like that. As I was printing the course out, one of the things I really wanted to do was make sure that the 30 wasn't forgotten. The course is, I'd probably say, 70% designed around the 30, making sure the 30 has available options and can do a lot of things. For instance, the bridge, I measured it to make sure that it is just as wide as the 30. Now it is a little bit pinchy in some places that I wasn't expecting. I've since modified that file. Then with the posing rock, I wanted to possibly have a way for the 30 to drive under the bridge or even under these rocks and then come out in between. So I had measured the gap on this side just enough that the 30 fits right in the gap and can drive in and out of this hole, as well as making sure that the 18 still had plenty of options available. So when I was developing this half spire, I did make sure that it is just wide enough that the wheelbase will fit over top of these rocks. In addition to the gap at the top is just wide enough that the tires can bridge that gap without falling through. I can't wait to get this out and take it to some of my brother's Jeep events and really have some fun with it. So the first couple of pieces I did print for this set didn't exactly go as well as I had hoped. My first version of this posing rock was, one could say, structurally compromised. I didn't design it very well, and it was extremely mushy on the bottom. And I couldn't have it in a course layout because it wouldn't have held up. It would have probably cracked across the base and then split in 3 pieces, and it would have been just a bad day. So I have since relegated that posing rock along with a business card attachment that I added to it as the posing rock for my brother's little junior that he can take with him to Jeep events and put that on his hood with his little junior posing on it with the business cards for his trail guide business. I think that was a great use of what was otherwise a failed print. So it was a win-win for both me and my brother. And then I got to slightly redesign the posing rock for a little bit better of a layout, and it looks a lot cleaner. So the last Jeep event my brother went to, before he went, I printed up a bunch of just little bitty pucks that say Crawlagon, that have the website, and then they even have my discount code on the back of them. So for anybody that was asking what that setup was, they could, we could give them a puck. We say, hey, go look it up. It's amazing. And then, oh, by the way, if you buy something, there's a 10%. So if you do go to crawlagon3d.com and you want to make some purchases, don't forget to use code FEARLESS for 10% off your order, and you will not regret it. They've got some awesome stuff coming down the pipe, and I can't wait to see where this is in a few more months even by next year, once these multicolored printers start becoming more common for everybody, and then we can really start having fun with developing these in ways to take advantage of these multicolored printers. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave a like, a comment, a share, and go check out Crawlagon. It is definitely a very, very amazing system. Thanks for watching.